Here's a look at a recap of your markets on this Wednesday, the 27th day of August. Thought I gave you some high prices yesterday on Tuesday from the auction barns around the state, but the way this market is now, that was yesterday. Those prices don't seem near as high as the prices we've seen around the state today. South Central Regional Stockyards in Vienna, they had 17 head of 505-pound steers at $499.50, 12 head of 684-pound steers at $418.50. Way down in southeast Missouri, Farmington Regional Stockyards, they sold 18 head of 648-pound steers at $395. Windsor Livestock Auction, they had an absolute barn burner today. That sale is still going on, but some of the stick out highlights from today there: 22 head, 644-pound steers, $431. A full load of 680-pound steers at $419. They had 17 head of 741-pound steers tagged as fancy, $421. A load of 770-pound steers, $394.50. A load of 656-pound heifers in Windsor, $405.50. Taking a look at the box beef cutout values, they gave back a little bit of yesterday's sharp gains. Choice was down $1.33 at $411.84. Select down $3.05 at $387.71. Those values based on 104 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $24.13. Negotiated feedlot trade so far for the week, 2,577 head. Nothing's moved so far this week in Texas. Kansas, 1,576 head. Sales there have been steady to slightly higher on the light volume so far this week, 240 to 242. Iowa's report 408 head, really nothing there so far this week, but the few sales that were reported at 245 live, that would be steady with last week. Nothing so far in Nebraska. Taking a look at the futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange today, no surprise there. All of the cattle and hog complex higher. They didn't quite close with the sharply higher gains that were seen earlier in the trading day, but all the same, they continue to climb higher. August live cattle up 75, 243.25. October up $1.32, 239.52. December at 240.90, up 97. August feeders up 225. 365.45, September 365.40 up 35, and October 364.20 up 42. And once again, no surprise here as well, but the CME cash feeder cattle index, based on an 800-pound steer through the auction barns in the 12-state feeding region, another all-time new record high, 360.68. That was up $1.51 today. Lean hogs for October, 93.90 up 47. December 86.50 up 57, February 88.62 up 50. Taking a look at the grain markets at the elevators around the state today, soybeans steady to 2 lower, wheat 7 lower, corn 1 to 9 lower. Corn bids in the St. Louis region, 392 to 396, Kansas City at 392. Soybean bids, St. Louis 1019 to 1021, Kansas City 962, wheat in St. Louis 468 to 475. On the board of trade, September corn down a nickel, 382.5, December 406 down 3.5, and March at 423.25 down 3.25. September beans 1.5 lower, 1027.25. November 1047.5 down 2, January 1066.75 down 2.5. September wheat 7.25 lower, 502.25. December 524.25 down 7.5, and March at 542.5 down 7. Soybean meal for September down $4.10 a ton today, $293.10. Soybean oil for September, $52.47 a hundredweight, down 29 cents. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's your closing markets for Wednesday. This is Tony Hancock.